In the last 4 years, women have lost 580,000 jobs. That's the net of what's happened in the last 4 years. We're still down 580,000 jobs. I mentioned 3.5 million women more now in poverty than 4 years ago. What we can do to help young women and women of all ages is to have a strong economy, so strong that employers are looking to find good employees and bringing them into their workforce and adapting to a flexible work schedule that gives women the opportunities that they would otherwise not be able to afford.
Now, it was Governor Romney defending his record last night to female voters, but while the Obama campaign attempts to accuse the governor of waging this phony war on women, we must not forget it was actually one of the president's former aides who once called the White House, quote, hostile to female employees. Now, ironically, that person served as the moderator during Obama's debate prep in recent days, former White House Communications Director Anita Dunn. Now, in Ron Suskind's Confidence Men, she was quoted as saying, quote, this place would be in court for a hostile workplace because it actually fit all of the classic legal requirements for a genuinely hostile workplace to women. Wow. Joining me with reaction, the author of the #1 New York Times bestseller, Culture of Corruption, Michelle Malkin. Michelle, first of all, there was a story that came out from the Free Beacon in April of 2011 that women in the White House were paid 18% less than their male counterparts. Since Obama's been president, we have 500,000 fewer women working, 0.5% increase in unemployment for women. The poverty rate for women in this country right now is 16.3%. And, 25 million American women live in poverty, an increase of 3.6 million women under Obama's policies. Those are staggering numbers.
They are. And, of course, if this record existed under a Republican administration, it would be branded misogynist with a capital M. I think it's really fitting to remind women who are undecided, and there are a lot of them who watch you, Sean, and who aren't necessarily paying attention and haven't over the last 4 years, and really need to get up to speed on how anti-woman this administration has been. It's not just the economic havoc they've wrought on the rest of the country, but as you say, it's all of the griping from women within the administration. And what was really significant about Mao cheerleader Anita Dunn's complaint that was recorded by Ron Suskind.
By the way, you say that literally.
Yes,
You did not say...
Oh, yes, she was. We're no joking here. She is a Mao cheerleader, radical left-wing Fox News basher, and she was whining to none other than Valerie Jarrett. Valerie Jarrett, who's the White House consigliere for this administration and who has been the point woman on trying to paint Republicans as the most anti-woman institution in America. Look, Anita Dunn and Valerie Jarrett were whining about how their own bosses were shutting them out and denying them access that men had. 18% disparity in the wage gap? Hey, maybe somebody ought to file one of those Lilly Ledbetter discrimination lawsuits.
By the way, and the Ledbetter law, there are already equal pay laws on the books. So that's a myth that the Democrats throw out there. And that letter had to do with whether or not there could be class action suits going back decades. So small little, details matter. Let me ask you this about Candy Crowley of CNN, who moderated last night's debate. She interrupted Mitt Romney 28 times. Obama just 9 times. She interrupted and falsely stated about the president's comments in the Rose Garden. CNN brass came out and defended her today. Now, this is a network that prides itself fair, balanced, down the middle. We don't have opinions, etc. Van Jones, avowed communist, 9/11 truther guy, was on there, and he accused Romney of acting like help me out. How do I say the word without saying it? Something horrible. Okay.
Yes.
And a word that really shouldn't be uttered on national TV. And,
that's right.
Not a peep out of CNN on that. What are your thoughts on her?
Well, as we always joke in my family with my kids, put on your shocked face. Who is surprised that this is the way this debacle turned out, given CNN's woeful history of journalistic malpractice over the last several decades? I pointed out the day before the debate how they planted so many Democrats who were posing as undecided voters in one of the 2007 high-stakes presidential campaign debates. And so the fact that Candy Crowley herself was the plant, acted as the wingman and tag team partner of Barack Obama, and then only after the debate admitted that she was wrong and tried to walk it back. These people ought to be throwing themselves under the bus. It's a shame what they committed. Shame.
Honestly, I think it was Rush who said earlier today something to the effect that, you know, anybody else would have been fired over this. You know, it's unbelievable. But she's praised by her organization. I'm not suggesting she be fired. But in all honesty, that is biased. But after her comments on Paul Ryan's selection, I'm not surprised. All right, Michelle, good to see you.
You too.